I just have to sew in a couple ends and then I am done. I am so excited to share this with you. It is done. Oh, I am so excited. It's Virus Shawl, if you couldn't tell already. Oh my gosh, I am so excited, you guys. So in my last video, I had said I was going to be entering some stuff in my county fair, and this is the first project. And I will admit, I had been in such a funk through December. I was sick a couple times, and we had a bunch of blizzards, and I was kind of doing, different projects for other people. And I was just like, I'm doing something for me. So I am super excited. And this is in my crochet and chat, the last video I posted, I talked about how I was going to be doing stuff for the fair. And I'm trying to make them a little bit harder than I normally do and like a little bit brighter than I normally do. So I am so excited, and I absolutely love this. Yes. What do you guys think? Have you done a virus shawl? It was a little difficult for me to get the hang of in the beginning, but it turns out it is not that hard. It really isn't. At the end, I did kind of run out of yarn, so I put picots. I just kind of fudged it a little bit because I wanted it to work, and I didn't want to order another ball of yarn. So I will show you. I will turn the camera around in a little bit and show you a little more about that. But oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I did use some yarn I was gifted from my friend. This has wool in it, and she has some skin irritations from wool. So I was the lucky recipient of this. I will put in some footage right here of the yarn so you can see what I used. This is the Vermont, and it is still available on the Knit Picks website. As I'm recording this, it does seem to be about $14 a ball. So there was a lot of yardage because it is the fingering weight. But this is, I will say I am definitely like a budget yarn type of gal. So this was super fun for me to work on this and work with this type of yarn. Because I probably wouldn't have just ordered it myself. So I was at Hobby Lobby recently, and I did find in the Chloe section yarn. I will go ahead and put that in right here if you're looking for an alternative. And I know there's probably others out there, and if you do have another like wool acrylic blend yarn in a fingering weight or like a #2 weight, let me know down in the comments so we can kind of share that information. But I absolutely love how this worked out. I thought that the stripes came out absolutely beautiful, and I love how lacy it is. So I, like I said, struggled initially a little bit, and I noticed that the first video I had chosen, it just was a little more difficult for me to follow. So I found a different video, and it was by the Snugglery. And she has, a YouTube channel, and of course, I'm sure probably Instagram and everything else. But what I really liked about hers is it was simple to follow, but then it also had the timestamps on it, so that like the video itself walked you through a certain amount of rows, and then it was like, okay, now just repeat. And I'm like, ah. So the first video I was using, I was trying to like go back and find it, and I was just really struggling and getting frustrated and not hearing the right instructions. But this one, the timestamps made it super duper easy for me to find exactly the row I was looking for. So I will go ahead and I will link her video below that, you know, so you can follow it if you want to. I'm gonna try to get a little bit closer here. So this video, in a way, it kind of works like a granny or a scallop, and you just kind of keep building. There are some foundation rows that you build on, but really, if you can chain and you can do a double crochet, you can definitely make this. This definitely was not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I really think that the yarn makes a huge difference just because you can see each of those rows. And I love a good scallop. So this is totally my speed. The yarn was totally my colors, like those kind of fall autumnal shades. So this project really helped revitalize me and get me excited. I definitely recommend it. It's easy enough that it fits Shannon's recommendations for like beginners, intermediate beginners. I will tell you, like I said, I started running out of yarn here, and I didn't want to end up going, you know, 3-4 rows back to this row right here. I wanted the extra. So I had my foundation chain row here, and then this next row of my double crochets, which would be equivalent to this one right here. And then this, so you can kind of see just how the repeat is here. And then this, where it's gold right here, that would have been like row number 1. And I just didn't want to take it back because I wanted the extra length. So I kind of messed around and played with it a little bit to figure out how much yarn I had left and what I could do for a border. Because the Snugglery does have a video where she did add a picot border to hers, and it looked great, but she definitely had more yarn left over than I do. So that was not an option. I did have to gently frog this a couple times, and I mean gently, because this yarn does not frog super well, so you really have to take your time with it. So I have a picot at the front of the scallop, the middle of the scallop, and the end of the scallop. Then I did 1 picot here in the middle of these chains, and then started it again here. So front, middle, end, picot in the chain, and then 3. And so I did that all the way along the edge. And while I really would have liked to get, you know, the next section of rows done, it just wasn't feasible without ordering more yarn. So in the center here where it has, you know, the double scallop, I basically added a few extra. So I just did like every other loop. I did one just to give it a little more embellishment right there and draw more attention to that center, and then started over the same. So 1 in the chain, and then 3 for the rest of these scallops right here. So I am so happy with how this turned out, and really I'm actually surprised that I had the perseverance to go through and do a fingering weight yarn. But it has totally like changed my mind on fine weight yarns. I used to be like, I'm never doing anything smaller than a 4. So this has totally changed my mind. I am just so in love with this. I cannot wait to enter it. I don't know how I will do, but I absolutely love, love, love it. I'm kind of more of a triangle scarf type of gal than a shawl, but I could definitely be persuaded to switch around to my back too, based on, you know, what I'm wearing and how it looks and everything. So what do you think? Like, have you done a virus shawl? Do you like it? Are you intimidated by it? Let me know. I am very, very curious. And as far as the yarn goes, this was really very beautiful. This is all I have left right here. And you can see why it does kind of remind me of that Chloe yarn, you know, a little bit there. I feel like it is definitely smaller than that Unforgettable by Red Heart. But again, please let me know if you have any other recommendations as far as what this could be. But overall, I definitely recommend this yarn. I will put a link to this exact one down below if you do want to use this. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around and just show you the detail of this shawl a little bit more. So here it is, and I will say that the shawl itself, it does seem to appear a little bit brighter on camera than it is in person. Like when I close up, it gets a lot more brighter, where it's a little bit darker, more jewel toned in person and kind of up here. But oh my gosh, I absolutely love this center row so much, where it's got the double scallop. You can see the picots I put on there. But this is just so much fun. And I am again surprised at how little I actually struggled with it. And it came out to be pretty big size. I mean, I'm like an extra large, woman size, and I feel like this fits me comfortably. It's fairly bulky as a triangle scarf, but definitely fits well as a shawl. So if you enjoyed this, please let me know, because I do want to share some of my other projects for the county fair as I work on them. And then hopefully things will go well and not be a disaster, and I can show you, like the end result at the fair. So we will see how that goes. But if you enjoyed this video and talking about yarn with me, please go ahead and click on this other video up in the corner. Thanks for talking yarn with me, guys.